So guys, as you can see, there was Murdoch, the federal agent I had arrested and charged, and he really had a plan of making me homeless, and then arguing that I died in some sort of homeless fight with knives and guns. Guys, the United States government has subjected itself in perpetuum to the United Nations Security Council under the condition that the United States remains the manager of the United Nations Security Council. That particular provision was rejected without them knowing. As long as the U.S. government or any other government rejects provisions secretly, we do whatever we decide to do, as long as it's right, constitutional, lawful, and good. Okay? And it's not up to you guys to decide, agents or otherwise. I am honestly Jesus Christ. I am God. I make all the decisions that matter. In all honesty. When Letitia says, buddy, we figured you out and you're not going to be able to pull anything off. No. Letitia is lying to herself. Her job is to remain, Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, her job is to remain as incompetent and voodoo in orientation as possible to make sure that the U.S. government never wishes to misinterpret the instructions from above. The instructions from above, as articulated by me and my father, provided that it's time for African Americans and the rest of the African people, meaning sub-Saharan African people, black people, to lead the world. Okay, that's all they received from above. And they said, well, we're going to find inarticulate or very incompetent or even mentally retarded African Americans, and we're going to purport them as oracles or as leaders of the U.S. government in secret. And we're just going to use them to do whatever the fuck we want to do. We're going to allow them to actually believe that they do have power, and so forth. We've documented all of this. Okay? I did fool them into believing that I was one of these individuals. Okay, I proved to you guys that the book sketch was a trick, a wicked trick, and it worked perfectly. They let me into my agency I created as Big Boy under the supposition that we are just going to fuck with his mind as we do with everyone else, as we did with Barack Obama. We don't know why they kept saying, we don't know why Shawn kept speeding up Barack Obama. We kept typing into the computer, he's a bad boy, please make sure that he no longer sounds articulate so that when Mitt Romney shows up, we can easily win the second term and say Barack Obama is the underground king and Mitt Romney is just his representative. I got in the way of that, and I get in the way of everything. I've been humble in doing so, but I'm not going to have to be humble anymore. This is the last 2 to 3 weeks I'm going to purport myself as being humble, even though I'm always humble as perceived by the rest of the universe, especially heaven. You guys are not going to be able to pull anything off. No matter what you guys have Rashida sign or a lookalike sign or whatever you guys have Rashida do or purport doing or have a lookalike purport doing or do, it's not going to make a difference. You guys are not going to be happy moving forward. The only way to be happy moving forward, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to reject it no matter what, out of hate, is to submit to the world becoming a better place, no longer white supremacists or white dominated. No longer American supremacists or American dominated, but led by the United States. However, with African Americans or the various within the spectrum, I have identified immigrant born and American born, multi-generational and new African American are going to lead the United States of America in managing the United States government under my command and directive and instructions and orders. I still run everything. Got it? You guys are going to have to accept this right now. Alright? I'm just getting started. I haven't even started yet to me. You guys got it? I'm the man. Okay, that's what I do to egregious egos. I say, I don't have to say I'm the man. I'm clearly God. I'm clearly Jesus Christ. I never have to say that. But when I see the consistent perpetuation of white supremacists saying that we run everything no matter what. We the man, we the this, we the gods, we are from another planet, a supremacist planet, an intellectual planet, a clean looking white alien, scientific looking motherfuckers planet. When they say these things over a 20-year period, or when they say these things over a 500-year period, I said, with this time, I step in consistently, and then eventually, as I am doing right now, I step in and I remove them for them. This is the end. This is it. My son Michael Jackson, one of my royal sons in heaven, my guts for having allowed him to go through what he's gone through. As Du Bois, I said, I requested from heaven, allow him to to go through whatever the hell he has to go through so that he may be the greatest entertainer of all time. Over the next 500 years, I'm going to keep sending him back to earth, dream into earth, to be the greatest entertainer of each respective life, 5 lives in a row. And he's not going to go through what he has gone through. The plastic surgery, the regeneration, the becoming sickly, the embarrassment, the brainwashing, the confusion, the hell on earth. He's not going to have to go through that anymore. He has no power to make any decision over mankind or humanity. He only has power over, the interpretation of his love for me, Jesus Christ, his Father in heaven. All right? He has power to be able to interpret it however the fuck he wants to interpret it. He faked his death. He said that's enough. But I requested that he provide, in faking his death, the phrase, this is it. This is it. White supremacist is dead. Michael Jackson was the killer move, whether he knows it or not. Okay? That was one of the sacrifices I had to let my son go through. And it's the killer move. It's over. So, New York, apparently, it's going to be I had to say apparently, right? Apparently, it's going to be nuked in 2 to 3 weeks. It's really lower Manhattan. Not all of New York, lower Manhattan. It's going to be the epicenter, and all of Manhattan is going to be destroyed for the most part. The 50-mile radius of the Tsar bomb, it's a real bomb. It's just a big fat boy that explodes. It creates a crater, and heaven splits all of the atoms in a respective 50-mile radius. Or all of the atoms within the immediate radius, and much of the atoms within the 50-mile radius. All of Manhattan. Okay? And parts of the, all of Manhattan. Alright, no matter how you guys interpret that, that's the reality. There's no point in you guys trying to figure out if this is scientific or physics or religious. There's no point to that. Alright? So I want you guys to accept that. LeBron James is not stealing anyone's bitch. He cut his penis off. He has an iron rod for a penis, and he's walking around the city of Orlando and flying back to Los Angeles. Decoy or not, no one knows who is who. They all have fake penises, and sometimes it's a white penis. They place a white penis over the rod, and he has to walk around embarrassed because he's scared that he's going to be executed by the state of California or the state of Florida. He murdered a little girl. He's not a hero. He's not part of a movement. He had a lot of fun doing the wrong things. And he's going to be happy that he survives. He gets to sit in a wheelchair for the rest of his life and never make the mistake that he made before. And he's going to be able to see the world change and leave women alone, accept his mother's glory. That's what he's going to have to accept very soon. He's going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. With no penis and no will to fight anymore. That's what's next. And he's going to look paraplegic after a while. This is what we did to Will Chamberlain, a notorious rapist. Got it? Will Chamberlain literally had a fan bring a gun to a show. Well, Will Chamberlain was actually handsome, so he got away with it a whole lot longer than LeBron did. But anyway, Will literally picked up a gun, had a fan bring a gun to a game, got the gun at the game and shot Bill Russell in the back. And he said, "I'm the man. I run everything." And he was serious, and everyone saw that Bill Russell actually got shot. Stop saying that I'm wrong. I put Will Chamberlain in a wheelchair, and he never got up. Eventually, after he became completely paraplegic, needing assistance to be able to be effective or professional. I'm warning you guys. Stop. I want you guys to understand this, okay? There's not going to be any sort of move that you guys have left. Listen, when I say the word bitch, so I have to articulate it, you know? I've said woman or women and ladies or female individuals or female persons. And when I speak to certain individuals, it literally never makes sense when I use the word woman or lady, stuff like that. When I say woman or lady to anyone associated or representative of LeBron James, they never understand what the fuck I'm talking about. They said LeBron does not believe that any one woman makes any sense, that they are all sluts and hoes and bitches. And that's the best he can say is bitches. We've tested him. We've interviewed him over and over and over again. When LeBron James says they'll never hear of Shawn Dexter John ever again, the whole world laughs. I said LeBron James is so egotistical and so delusional in being egotistical, haven't earned anything other than being on TV and bouncing a basketball. We are alarmed. You guys understand? I want you guys to know this. LeBron James is not taking any man's woman away. I'm going to walk Rashida into heaven. I'm going to walk into heaven myself, holding her in hand. And she's not going to be dead. And she's not going to have anyone walking in with her, no matter what you guys try to perpetuate in any cinematic. We are laughing at the federal government still trying to get in the way of God doing the right thing. So I'm going to walk Rashida into heaven, and we're going to do so consistently over the next 2 years, and we're going to evolve our look into being permanently looking completely different as Khaled and Nicole Hassan. But you guys are going to know that I did not die. I'm going to make sure that you guys see the evolution. I'm going to look like myself consistently until the very end, but I'm still going to have features of myself as Shawn Dexter John, without plastic surgery, without any sort of egregious concept applied onto my surrounding. And no one is going to be able to visually enter my house or in any sort of or breach my security. I'm going to turn off the simulations. I'm going to turn off all the simulation. I'm going to shut everything down. I want you guys to know that the game is over. There's nothing else for you guys to try to figure out. Okay? I need you guys to know that. Her parents, they're not going to get any house in Miami. They're going to stay their ass right here in Orlando, Florida with my dad and my stepmom. They're going to stay their ass right here in Central Florida. I'm going to take my woman, my holy daughter in heaven, who became my chief wife here on earth, who's now known to the whole universe, becoming known to the whole universe of heaven and earth as my first lady, my chief angel and wife in perfection. This was the last interruption. This is it. I have proven that she never needs to be away from my sight. Not just sight, away from my proximity. Not just proximity, away from my physicality. Not just physicality, my perception of what physicality means, and nothing you guys want to interpret or communicate to yourselves or anyone else. Do you guys know what I'm saying? No revenge. I'm not joking around. There's not going to be no revenge, and you guys are not going to be able to coerce God, me. That's what I'm speaking of. When I speak of God or Jesus Christ, I'm speaking of myself, and that's not a belief, and that's not a matter of perspective. That's reality, buddy. That's reality. We are not fighting over Rashida. I promise you that. I'm not fighting over Patricia. I'm not fighting over any other woman. My wives and my children, they're with me in heaven forever. We are dreaming into this world. I never leave them. I'm just making sure that it's fair that I say no to everyone else being in the city of God and angels. I say no to everyone else listen. I say no to listen. No one but my wives. Listen! That's enough of the games. My wives and my royal children are with me in the city of God and angels in heaven. And I'm not speaking of anywhere here on earth. In the second dimension, and I'm going to make it a third dimension. I'm going to take it to the third dimension. And that's the same city of God and angel is going to remain. It's going to be reformulated, but everyone is going to remain in, and no one else will be allowed in. I just had to make sure that it's fair that I keep my children and my wives with me for the rest of eternity, while no one else has wives or children for the rest of eternity. Earth is the only place where mankind or any being gets to have children or a wife. I created the whole universe, And those who helped me become nominal God and in creating this new universe, this relatively new universe, they get to be with me forever. My original daughters who have been with me over the past million years, from animal to hominid to mankind to nominal God, and now moving forward. The most ancient beings who have endured the most pain, who paved the way to allow humanity to evolve and to be preserved and to become eventually happy forever. They're going to be with me for the rest of eternity. I need you guys to accept that shit right now. That's not a matter of belief, and that's not a matter of perspective. That's reality. Buddies. I'm going to have 10,000 children in this particular lifetime, right here on Earth. I always do in every lifetime. I've done so over the past 9,500 years, and I've only taken a maybe 20, 30-year break in between each lifetime. I'm always here on Earth doing the work with my children and my wife. I don't always go through this, but every rite I do have to accept going through this, and this was the last rite. I want you guys to accept this. There's no more games. You guys understand? And when they say, is it ever worth it? Yeah, living forever and being happy forever, literally forever, without having to dream into any world to forget that you're living forever, it's worth it. It's worth it. You guys don't understand what I mean forever. It does not make sense to you guys. I don't understand that. There's no trying to figure me out. Listen again. There's no trying to figure me out. There's no point to that. Respect the evacuation orders. Got it? You guys are not going to remove this video from online. There's no point in you guys doing that. And just respect the evacuation orders. Make sure that everyone is evacuated a day or 2 or 3 before Moscow, military jets from Moscow allowed into the United States of America to guard or guide a corporate jet drops 2 hydrogen bombs on Lower Manhattan. And if it's only going to be one bomb, it's going to be the Tsar bomb. Okay, a bomb that's going to destroy everything within a 50-mile radius, and it's going to be successfully dropped no matter what. Heaven is going to make sure of it. There's no point in you guys trying to communicate otherwise. There's just no point. Okay. New York City has to pay up for having sold that it killed all the migrants, for having evidenced it to thousands of New Yorkers. Customs and borders has to pay up for what the transgressions it conducted on the southern border. The Russian government has to pay up for what it did to Ukrainian civilians, innocent civilians. It executed them for what the Russian people thought they did to all of the migrants and refugees who came from Ukraine into the city of Moscow and elsewhere. They thought they killed each and every one of them. Moscow is going to be nuked 3 days or so after Lower Manhattan is nuked. The U.S. government and Russia, the Russian government, have agreed to stage everything and to make sure that no one dies, as I have said. Me, Jesus Christ, God. And I'm never saying and God when I say Jesus Christ, God, or Shawn Dexter John, God, or Shawn Dexter John, Jesus Christ. And there's no and when I don't say and. Humble yourself! Accept that, guys. Accept it right now. When you accept things like that, it's easier to move on with your day in your life. There's no will to fight anymore. You accept, you are happy about what you have in life, and you no longer complain about what you don't need to complain about. Got it?